Hello everyone and welcome to this video on the Python programming language. So in this video I will attempt to analyze Dogecoin. Now before we begin, if you like the videos on this channel, then be sure to click that subscribe button and that like button, and to be notified about new videos on this channel, hit that bell notification. Also, I should say that the material in this video is purely educational and should not be taken as professional investment advice, as I'm no advisor. So make sure to do your own research before investing in, well, anything, and invest at your own discretion. Now, currently, I'm on Google's website. It's called colab.research.google.com, and I'm on it because it makes it easy to start programming in Python. So all you have to do is go to this website and then log in using your Google account and get started writing your Python code. So to get started writing this code, go ahead and click on File, then New Notebook, and a new tab will open up for you, and then eventually a new cell will open up for you. And in this cell, I'm going to put in some comments. I'm going to put in a description about the program. So I'm just going to put, this program analyzes Dogecoin. Okay, so that way I can just read this description and have an idea of what the program is supposed to do or what it's about. So next I'm going to go ahead and create a new cell by clicking this code button in the top left. And in this cell, I'm going to import some of the libraries that I plan on using throughout the program. So I'm going to import pandas as PD. I'm going to import numpy as NP. I'm going to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. And then I'm going to import plotly.graph_objects as GO. And then I'm going to give my plot a style. So I'm going to just type plt.style.use, and I'm going to use the 538 style. All right. So next I'm going to run this cell by clicking this button here to the left, and this will let me know if I made any mistakes. Okay, so everything looks good. I'm going to create a new cell. And the first thing that I'm going to do is load the data. So I'm going to load this data set that contains information on Dogecoin, all this pricing data and volume data. So let's go ahead and get that information. And in order to do that, I need to use Google's library. So from google.colab, I'm going to import, and I need to make sure I spell Colab properly. All right, there we go. I'm going to import files. So I'm just going to type files.upload, and then I'm going to run this cell and upload the file by clicking choose files. And I'm going to choose this doge.csv file, open it, and now it's uploading. Okay, so it's done. I'm going to create a new cell, and now I'm going to store the data. So I'm going to create my variable df, and I'm going to set it equal to pd.read_csv, and I'm going to read in that file doge.csv, and then I'm going to show the data. So I'm just going to type df here, and let's run this, and let's take a look at the data. So we can see that this data set contains 507 rows of data, and then it contains 7 columns. All right, so let's see here. We can see the start date is 12/8/2019, and it ends 5/1/2021. And we can see our indices here for each row. And the 7 columns are date, open price, high price, low price, close price, adjusted close price, and volume. So I'm going to change these indices here to be the date. That way I can just use them later, use the indices later. So I'm going to set the data, I'm going to set the date as the index. So I'm going to set df equal to df.set_index, and then I'm going to input pd.datetime_index, and here I'm going to input the date. All right, so that's df date.values. And let's run this one more time. And now the indices have changed to be the date. Okay, next I'm going to create a new cell. And now in this cell, I'm going to get some some statistics on the data. So just type df.describe and let's run this. All right, so now we can see some information about the data. So we can see the count. So we know that there are 507 rows of data, right? So we can see that for the open price here and for pretty much all of these. Then we can see the mean. We can see the standard deviation, the minimum value, the 25th percentile, the 50th percentile, and the 75th percentile, and then the maximum value. All right. So let's just take, for example, the close price column here. So in this close price, we can this close price column, we can see that the minimum value within this data set was 0.001537. So this tells me that the close price for Dogecoin was less than a penny within this data set at some point in time between the dates 12/8/2019 and 5/1/2021. Okay, so that's very, very interesting. It was less than a penny. And then the maximum value during the same time period was approximately 40 cents. So that's a dramatic increase in price. So you probably would have wanted to invest way back then, sometime, I guess, uh, 12/8/2019, you probably would have wanted to invest in Dogecoin. Really, whenever the price hit this low price here, you definitely wanted to invest then. All right, because there's no promise that the price was this low at that specific date and time, right? But if you had invested during the time that Dogecoin was this price and sold during the time that Dogecoin was this price, you would have made quite a bit of money, depending on how many shares you had or how many coins you had. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new cell by clicking that code button. And now I want to show the candlesticks on a chart. So I am going to create a variable called fig, and I'm going to set it equal to go.figure. And then I'm going to give my figure some, let's put that back. All right, so I'm going to give my figure some data. So I'm just going to type here. I'll put data equals, and I'm going to set it equal to a list. Okay. And in here, I'm going to put go dot candlestick. And now it's time to give this some values. So I'm going to set the x-axis to be df.index, which contains our dates. And then I'm going to set open equal to df open. I'm going to set close equal to df close. I'm going to set the high price equal to df dot or df high, and then the low price equal to df low. Okay, and then I'm going to give us some color for the candlesticks, and usually the colors are green and red, so those are the two colors I'm going to use here. So I'm going to set increasing underscore line underscore color equal to green, and then I'm going to set decreasing underscore line underscore color equal to red. All right, so that looks good, and I'm just going to make this look a little bit better. All right, personal preference here. All right, so I think that looks good. And now I'm going to show the figure. So just type fig.show and let's run this. All righty. And so here we go. We have this nice plot here. So let's zoom in a little bit to a more recent date. or more recent dates. And there we go. All right, so already we can see a few interesting things. So here we can see this extremely long candle, and this tells me that the low price, or it started off at this low price here, right? So the open price was 0.181587, and then the close price, is far up, is all the way up here. So the close price is 0.36587. So what this tells me just through this visual is that at this time period, the close price for Dogecoin was higher, much, much higher than the open price. And then, of course, this wick here tells me the highest price that Dogecoin was for the day, which was about 43 cents. So that's pretty good. You probably would have made some profit that day had you just bought when the asset opened. Okay, and we really can't see the wick for the low price here, and that is because the low price is extremely close to the open price, so it's really hard to see that. Okay, so that looks really good, and of course the color is green because the close price is higher than the open price. So let's take a look over here for these few dates. Here we can see that the candlestick is a little smaller, right? So this tells me that the close price and the open price are extremely close in value. Also, right here, we get this small wick up top, and it looks like a small wick on the bottom here. So this tells me it wasn't much price movement for this day. And if we look here, you can see on April 27th, 2021, there was extremely low price movements for this day. So the lowest price was 26 cents, and the highest price was maybe I round this to 28 cents. It's really 27.9629 cents. So that's really, really close in price, and there wasn't much price movement there. But yeah, you definitely would have wanted to get in Doge on this day on April 16th. It looks like you would have been profitable for that day. All right, so I think you all understand these candlesticks and how they work. And let's go ahead and create a new cell. All right, so now in this cell, I'm going to calculate the Fibonacci retracement levels. All right, so I'm going to create a few variables. I'm going to create a variable called maximum price. And I'm going to set this equal to df close dot max. So I'm going to be using the close price here for these Fibonacci retracement levels. And then I need to create a minimum price. So that's going to be df close dot min. And then I want to get the difference between the two. So I'm going to create a variable called difference and set it equal to maximum price minus minimum price. And I think that looks good. So now I'm going to create my levels. So I'm going to create a level called first level. And I'm going to set it equal to the maximum price minus the difference times the Fibonacci ratio 0.236. Okay, and if you're wondering where I got that number from or how I am doing these calculations, then I will leave a link for another video that I've created where I go into a little bit more detail about creating Fibonacci retracement levels. So you can definitely watch that and get a better explanation than what I'm going to be doing here. But for now, let's go ahead and continue. So I'm just going to highlight this. I'm going to copy using Control C, and then I'm going to paste this a few more times for the rest of the levels that I'm going to create. And I just have to change a little bit for the calculations. So I'm going to have a second level, a third level, and a fourth level. So let's change this to be called second level. Let's change this to be called third level. Let's change this to be called fourth level. And then we're going to change this ratio here to be 0.382. And this one here will be 0.5. And then this one here will be 0.618. So let's go ahead and run this. All right. And let's create a new cell. And now in this cell, I plan on actually plotting those Fibonacci retracement levels with the close price. So here, let's just put that, plot the Fibonacci retracement levels with the close price. And I'm going to plot the volume as well. So, and plot the volume. All right. So let's create a variable called top, and I'm going to set it equal to plt dot subplot to grid. All right. And I'm going to put in a 4x4 tuple or tuple and a 0x0 tuple. And I'm going to give this a row span equal to 3 and a column span or call span equal to 4. All right. And now I'm going to plot the data. So just type top.plot, and we're going to plot the date on the x-axis. So that's df.index. And then I want to plot the close price on the y-axis. And I'm going to give this a label. So I'll set this equal to close. Okay. And then I want to create my retracement levels. So I'm going to type top.x hline, and I'm going to input maximum underscore price. And then I'm going to give this a line style. So I'm going to type line style, and I'm going to set this equal to dash dash. And then I'm going to give this an alpha equal to 0.5, and the color will be red. Okay, so I'm going to just highlight this, copy using Control C, and then paste it one more time using Control V. And I'm going to change this to be the first level. And I'm going to change the color here to be orange. All right, now I'm going to just highlight this, copy using Control C, and then paste this a few more times for the rest of my levels. So I'm going to have the second level, the third level, and the fourth level. All right, and then I just need to change a few things. So here I need to make this second, and this will be yellow. I need to change this here to be third level, and this will be green. And then this will be the fourth level. And the color here will be blue. And then I'm going to have one more Fibonacci retracement level, and that will be the minimum price. Okay, and the color here will be purple. Okay, so I think that looks good. Let's give this plot a title. So just type plt.title, and I'm going to put close price from 2019 to 2021. And then I'm going to give this plot a legend. So just type plt.legend, and I'm going to put this in the upper left location. Okay, and now I'm going to plot the volume. So I'm going to create a variable called bottom, and I'm going to set this equal to plt.subplot to grid. All right, we're going to give it a 4x4 tuple. and 3 by 0 tuple. And then the row span will be equal to 1, and the call span will be equal to 4. And then I'm going to give this a title, so plt.title, and I'm going to put volume 2019 to 2021. And I want to plot the data, and I want it to be a bar chart. So I'm going to type bottom.bar, df.index will be on the x-axis, so that's going to be the dates, and then the volume will be on the y-axis. Okay, and then I need to type plt.subplots underscore adjust, and I'm going to give this a h space equal to 0.75, and then I'm just going to type plt.gcf.set underscore size underscore inches 15 by 8. All right, so I think this will do it. Let's give this a run and let's see what we get back. All right, that looks really, really nice. Okay, so we can see our first chart here with the Fibonacci retracement levels and the close price. And in technical analysis, the Fibonacci retracement levels indicate key areas where a stock may reverse or stall. And we can actually see that happening here at this level. All right. And we can see that the stock dropped, or not the stock, Dogecoin dropped and hit that level, and then it had a reversal. And it actually looked like it stalled here a little bit, and it looks like it stalled here at this level a little bit. So now you may expect it to reach this level here, its maximum level again, before having a possible another reversal, right? So we would also think of this level here as support, and then of course that maximum level as resistance. Okay, so right now I kind of expect it to hit that previous maximum price. At least that's what it looks like in the direction that it's going, but who knows? Again, I'm no financial advisor, so we will just have to see. All right, and then if we look down below, we can see the plot for volume. And volume measures the number of shares traded in a stock or options or contracts traded in futures. And volume can be a good indicator of market strength. Now, for example, we'll see that, or we can see that the volume increased here during this time period. And if we look directly up in this chart, we can see that the price increased as well. So that's really good. And then if we look at this spike in volume here, and we look at the chart above, we can see a even bigger spike in price for Dogecoin. So volume can definitely help you to identify how strong the market is for that asset. And right now it looks like the volume, started to decrease. Looks like the price started to decrease a little bit, and it looks like the volume is picking up slightly, and it looks like the price is picking up slightly as well. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. All right, let's go ahead and create a new cell. And now in this cell, I plan on calculating and showing the daily simple returns. So let me just put that in comments here. Calculate the daily simple returns. So I'm going to create a variable called DSR, and I'm going to set this equal to df close dot pct underscore change. And I'm going to input the value 1. And then I'm going to show the DSR. So just type DSR and let's run this. Okay, so there we go. We have our daily simple returns. But this doesn't really tell us much, right? We can just see the daily simple returns for each date. which is still good information to know. But let's go ahead and create a new cell, and let's get some statistics on the daily simple return. So we're going to get some statistics on the daily simple return. So just type dsr.describe. So let me run this. All right. So now what we can see is we can see that we can expect about a 1.6975% return on Dogecoin every day. So that's pretty cool. We're not we don't expect to lose value or expect to lose money from investing in Doge daily, right? Now, what else is interesting is the price of Doge. There was a day when it dropped about 40%. So if you are someone who likes stability, then you might not want to invest in Dogecoin because we can see here that 40% drop in price is pretty drastic. And then this other increase in price down here, this maximum uh, this maximum increase, I'm sorry, the maximum price that it increased within a day is 275.6%. So these are like two completely opposite sides of the coin. And this tells me that this is actually pretty volatile. And again, if you like stability, you might not want to invest in Dogecoin. But that is interesting that within a day's time, if you were holding Dogecoin on this day, you could have profited 275%. That's pretty ridiculous. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new cell. And now in this cell, I'm going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to show the daily simple return. So let's plot this daily simple return. So just type plt.figure and then type fixed size. So set fixed size equal to 12.4 and type plt.plot and then dsr.index, and then we're going to plot DSR. I'm going to give this a label. I'm going to set it equal to close, and that looks good. Let's give it a line width equal to 2 and alpha equal to, I do 0.7. There we go. And then I'm going to give this a title, plt.title. I'm just going to put daily simple return. And then let's give the y-axis a label. So type plt.y label, and it will be percentage in decimal form. Okay, and then let's give the x-axis a label. So plt.x label will be the date. All right, and then I'm going to change the rotation of the x ticks. So plt.x ticks will be rotated. So rotation is going to equal 45 degrees. And let's run this. Okay, so I definitely misspelled rotation here. Rotation. All right, let's run this again. And there we go. All right, so now we can see that huge spike for that one day within this data set. That's over 250% here. So what was it? 275%, right? So it's over 275%. And then it looks like we can see that about 40% drop here. So it looks like there's a big spike for one day, and then either one day or a couple of days later, there was a huge drop. And okay, here it's pretty interesting. This here looks like the daily simple return is increasing recently. And it looks like, wow, recently it seems to be more negative. You it seems like you would have lost more in your money recently, but it also seems to be going up, just like the price has been going up. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and create a new cell. And now I'm going to calculate the RSI. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable called delta. And actually, I should also explain kind of what RSI is. So RSI is the relative strength index, and it is a momentum indicator used in technical analysis, and it measures the magnitude of recent price changes to evaluate overbought or oversold conditions in the price of an asset like Dogecoin. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and calculate that price, and then I plan on plotting this information. So let's set delta equal to df close dot diff. Okay, and then I'm going to drop the NA values. So set delta equal to delta dot drop NA. And then I'm going to create a variable called up and set it equal to delta dot copy and one called down. I'm going to set that equal to delta dot copy. Okay, and then for up, I'm going to change all the values or all the values in up that are less than 0, I'm going to change them to be equal to 0. And then for all the values in down that are greater than 0, I'm going to change those values to be 0. Okay, and I'm going to set a time period. So time period equals 14. And then let's create a variable called average gain. So average gain will be equal to up dot rolling. So I'm going to set window equal to the time period. And I want the mean. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing for average loss. So I'm going to create a variable called average loss. And I'm going to set it equal to down dot rolling. Window will equal time underscore period dot mean. And I want the absolute value of this. So I'm just going to type abs. There we go. And now let's create a variable for the relative strength. So I'm going to create a variable called RS and set it equal to the average gain divided by the average loss. And now I can calculate the RSI. So I'm going to create a variable called RSI and set it equal to 100.0 minus 100.0 divided by 1.0 plus RS. And this is just a formula that you can find basically anywhere online if you want to calculate RSI. Okay, so I think that'll do it. Let's go ahead and run this. And let's create a new cell. And now in this cell, before I plot the RSI, I'm going to calculate the simple moving average for 30 days. So here we're going to create and calculate the 30-day simple moving average. All right, so I'm going to create a variable called SMA30, and I'm going to set this equal to df close dot rolling. I'm going to set the window equal to 30. And I want the mean. Okay, and then I'm going to store this into our data frame. So I'm going to set df and create a column called SMA30. So I'm going to set this column equal to SMA30. All right, so let's go ahead and run this. All right, looks like I made a mistake. I didn't put a dot here. So let's run this one more time. And looks like we're good. And I should also say that in general, or a general guideline for the simple moving average is that if the price is above the moving average, then the trend is up. And if the price is below a moving average, then the trend is down. So this really helps us to kind of see the trend of Dogecoin. All right, so now we've calculated the RSI and the simple moving average. Let's create a new cell and let's plot this information. So here we're going to visually show the RSI and the simple moving average. All right, so let's create a variable called fig and ax and set this equal to plt.subplots and input 1 and 2 and give this a fig size. All right, it will be 15 by 5. All right, now I'm going to create a variable called x0. I'm going to set this equal to our RSI dot plot, and we're going to plot x equal to x at position 0. Okay, that looks good. And then let's give our plot some lines. So x0 dot xh line at the 30 mark, and I'm going to set the color to be green. And then I'm going to do the same thing, x0 dot xh line, but this time at the 70 mark, and the color will be green as well. Okay, and then let's plot the SMA, the simple moving average. So I'm just going to put in the close price and the simple moving average price for the 30-day simple moving average. So there we go. We have the close price and the 30-day simple moving average. All right. So then just type dot plot here and set x equal to x at position 1, and this should do it. Let's go ahead and run this. Okay. So there we go. We have our two plots. So what does this tell us? So these plots tell us, one, that the asset is neither overbought or oversold right now. So it's telling me Dogecoin is neither overbought or oversold. And that kind of just tells me to just, if I had Dogecoin, to just keep it and not do anything right now. But of course, to each their own. This may be an indicator for others to buy some more Dogecoin, right? So right now it's just telling me just to keep it. And here in this plot, the SMA 30 and close price plot, I can see that the trend is indeed upward as the close price is above the simple moving average. So that's pretty much it. I hope you all enjoyed this little analysis of mine. Let me know if I made any mistakes or if you have any advice. That would be much appreciated. And that's the end of the video. If you want to start an investment portfolio of your own, you can click on the link below and get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850 on Webull when you deposit $100 or more. And don't forget to grab $10 worth of Bitcoin using the BlockFi link below. It's basically free money for both. Thanks for watching, and thank you to the supporters supporting this channel on patreon.com. If you would like to become a supporter on patreon.com, I will leave a link in the description below for that as well. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.